recently took place. For the first time in nearly 50 years, an old landmark in Roseville has turned its wheels. On Tuesday, October 12th, locomotive 2252 was moved from its resting place of the last 48 years at the Placer County Fairgrounds to the back of a very large flatbed truck. The engine was put on the truck to facilitate its move to its new home at the conversion of Vernon Atlantic Streets. A grand ceremony was held in front of the engine on Wednesday, October 13th, prior to its move across town.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Fairgrounds. On behalf of the board and the Fair Association, we're very happy to have been part of getting the train to a place I think it's going to be much more available to the folks. It'll be on display every day where thousands of people will get to see it, rather than it's been kind of hidden in a corner of the Fairgrounds here for a few years. So we were glad to be part of this whole thing. We want to thank the society and everyone who was involved in working to get the train moved, and we're very glad you could all be here today for this.
This is really a very exciting day for us. It's especially exciting for me because I watched this engine being moved over here in 1956. I saw all the flat tires that had to be changed while it was being moved over here, and it was quite an interesting process to see it get over here. So this is doubly exciting for me because now I get to see it move to a new home, which we hope will be a permanent new home.
And welcome everybody here today. This is a very special day for the city of Roseville and for the cooperation we've had with the Placer County Fair Board to move this great train. But it's a great day that we're finally going to move this train to downtown Roseville where it belongs. I mean, Roseville is a long history of trains, and the rail yard here is supporting our community, and we're still one of the biggest rail yards in the country.
This certainly is a very much of a historic event, and so many people have taken in this to make this happen. I serve also on the revitalization committee for the Roseville Chamber, and that certainly has been a committee that's been very vigilant in watching to make sure that this has happened, and we've all been very dedicated to this event.
When I was growing up as a kid here in the city of Roseville, and like many of you your age, most of us lived fairly close to railroad tracks, and I was no exception. But I could remember, I can't say I remember this one here, but I can remember a lot of the other black ones, the Malleys and some others like this, with their noise and their steam and what have you. So it's kind of an era gone by, and it's just a real privilege. My grandfather worked for the railroad. My father-in-law, who's in the audience today, worked 45 years for the railroad. So just an honor and a privilege for me to be here today, and just many, many thanks to everybody that made this possible. But I think one group of people that we really need to thank, and those are the people from Texas who wanted to come and take our engine from us, and they were the ones that really spearheaded us to say we got to do something with this engine. And I just thank the Fair Board for keeping it here and keeping it under guard and keeping it for us for all those years, and thank you very much.
You know, over the years, many pieces of this historic locomotive have disappeared, including the front light, which was on the front here, the brass bell, big brass bell that sat up on the top there, and then many other mechanical parts that were key to its preservation and, you know, in its display. And so we'd like to get those parts back. We don't know where they are, and that's the mystery. But we want them back, and so we're asking for the return of these pieces with no questions asked. If anybody has them, you can bring them back. We won't send you to jail.
Not only am I on the City Council, I'm also a member of the Placer County Fair Board, so this has double meaning for me today to see this train get moved down to Atlantic and Vernon, where people will have a great opportunity to see it. More people will have a chance to see it and to appreciate the great heritage of the city of Roseville.
1, 2, 3.
Led by a procession of police vehicles, the engine was moved across town by way of Washington Boulevard, then onto Junction Boulevard, then onto Foothills Boulevard, where it passed Baseline Road, then headed over the Foothills overpass on its way to Kirby Road. From Kirby, the engine was brought down to Vernon Street, passing many of its modern counterparts, before entering the downtown Vernon Street area. Many onlookers paused to watch as the massive engine passed through the downtown area. Several hours later, the engine was rolled off the track onto its final resting place and new home on Atlantic Street. The overall cost of the move is around $135,000, with some of the cost being picked up by the city and the rest being picked up by donations. However, donations are still needed. If you would like to make donations to help pay for the move, please call the Roseville Historical Society at 773-3003 or contact Gilbert Munoz at 338-3537.